I'm not one for killing animals for sport. It's just not something I like. I'm not gonna fault you if you do, but it's not for me. However, in video games, it's a bit different. You see, in video games, every single animal is conspiring against me. They killed my entire platoon, showing no mercy, putting me in the situation that I have to go into a Rambo-esque rampage against every single one of them. I won't stop until there's all flora and no fauna. Oddly enough, that's also the same title of my Rambo fanfiction. It's on Wattpad and fanfic.net. If you're interested, just go check that out. You see, this bunny is my pride and joy. Love her to the ends of the earth and would do anything to protect her. But this bunny is the difference between me taking out Dutch's gang and completely dying. Well, not really, but I could, use the money, and I don't have enough digits to play Five Finger Fillet all day, so last chance resort. Now, when I say hunting game, you might first think of the big buck point and shoot arcade games that you see in bars and malls and arcades all across America, but you'd be surprised to find that hunting games have a pretty big variety. Now, in my research, I found that most games in this genre typically fall into one of three categories: hunting as the focus, hunting as a side objective, and being hunted. Starting off with the most obvious choice, look no further than the Deer Hunting series for the PC. All right, there it is. You see it? That's all it is. These games are really hot in the 90s with dads who are tired of solitaire but not cool enough to play Doom. But on the flip side, there's the ever graceful parody Deer Hunter Adventure. A light jab at the Deer Hunter series, but the novelty wears off quickly. The game is super simplified, so really only survives on the humor. There was also the Bass Fisher Avenger, similar style of parody, and it was pretty funny. The other most recognizable hunting title might very well be the Cabela's series. For the indoorsy folks out there, Cabela's is the one-stop shop for people who actually enjoy going outside and hiking and camping and occasionally murdering animals for fun. However, in 1998, they dove headfirst into making video games. They released the first game on the PC and it received lackluster reviews. But being the weather-tested company that they are, Cabela's wasn't gonna stop after one bad game. No, they continued on, making 6 other PC games that were all equally as bad. Who was buying these games? But in 2002, they would revamp the entire genre for the PS2 and again see lackluster reviews. But Cabela's doesn't stop fighting no. When the chips are down, they take out a second mortgage on their house from a shady loan shark and bet all their chips on Red 23. They knew if they kept betting, at some point the law of large numbers would play in their favor and give them a decent game. And this is where Cabela's African Adventure for the PS3 comes in. This game has no reason to be as good as it is. Hell, it's practically not even a hunting game. I mean, any of the titles in the Dangerous Hunt or Adventure series take hunting as more of a story-based thing and less of a simulation thing. No longer are you tracking deers for miles. Now you're fist-fighting bears, avenging friends' deaths, and creating Top Gun-level homoeroticism. Aiming your weapon and finding animals are two of the core gameplay loops for hunting titles, which I feel should be an obvious statement, but these spin-off series add some weird shit like quick-time events, collectibles, and dodge rolling. Now you just snap to aim, you don't have to have precision, which I guess is okay because these are fantasy hunts where you murder endless waves of endangered animals in order to fulfill some task, beating a score, getting achievements, finding pieces of an idol that I guess animals stole. Cabela's African Adventure has a love interest, so there's also that, but no. The Cabela's Adventure games are less so hunting games and more of B-side action adventure games. The experiences are so outlandish that on multiple times, I just laughed out loud when I think I shouldn't have. Sure, these titles are cheaply made and put together. Sure, the stories are paper thin, and you know what? The gameplay gets soul-numbingly repetitive, but for the first hour of gameplay, the camp is just so thick that it put a smile on my face. These games get a pass. I mean, they're only $1 now. If you see one, it's worth picking up. Not worth beating, because God, I will never get those 5 hours back. Quick note though, you do need to know how to read in order to play these games. It says so right on the box. I can't make that shit up. Makes you wonder what they think of their core demographic, to be honest. Alright, time for the obvious inclusion. Here it comes. Everyone wanted to hear this. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, duck hunt. Alright, moving on. In other titles, hunting is used as more of a mini-game or a utility, which means you kill a lot less for the sake of sport and more for necessity. Hunting in Breath of the Wild yields you food to make into health potions because nothing heals a stab wound quite like a good steak. Far Cry 3 and Beyond uses hunting as a level up system for your items, having to hunt and gather skins of certain prey in order to craft a bigger pouch for ammo or a bigger wallet, because God knows if you have too much money in your wallet, you have to leave it. That's a universal rule. You can't just put it in your bag or shove it in your shoe or hold it in your hands. Nope. You gotta get a bigger wallet. Nope. You gotta leave that stack of hundos on the ground. Can't forget about Skyrim. When you're not slaying dragons or fighting a race war, you can slow it down and take a break and hunt some animals. The reward is far less than Far Cry, but you can get a good haul of leather and make like 500 iron daggers. Also, if your bow isn't doing the trick or you just don't want to track the kill, you can always just roast the animal or run up and smash it with a warhammer. But I don't really know what kind of rating a tenderized deer would get, so maybe stick to the bow. My personal favorite game in this category is Red Dead Redemption. The animals you hunt aren't particularly valuable. They won't help you craft an ammo pack, a gun holster, or a freaking bigger wallet, but they do provide a good way to earn some extra cash. I quite enjoy buying some bait and traveling out to a place and just kind of waiting until I stumble across something. There are also challenges that you can win by hunting certain animals in specific ways. These can earn you new clothes and they're just kind of a fun addition. Another thing that I like is that there's a chance to come across a random event. Usually these are pretty horrifying because you're out and about by yourself, but it really brings the whole Wild West theme into view. Sure. I hear you typing it. Yep, go ahead, type it out. I'm gonna say it right now though.
Dakotas, the skinning animations take too long. I hate it. There's no way to turn it off.
Okay, yeah, I get it. It's a big problem. There are some like weird glitchy ways around it, but if that's the biggest problem in this game, it doesn't make the game any less satisfying for me. Finally, Red Dead does something that no other hunting game has yet to do, and that's make me feel guttural remorse for my actions. There's an achievement in the game for killing all the buffalo. You get this special high-powered rifle for doing so, and I just kind of blindly went on a buffalo genocide, and wow, holy shit, it is haunting to see not a single buffalo outside of Blackwater. Finally, there are the games that turn the player into the prey, completely turning the tables of the genre. While doing research for this episode, I said to myself, there's gotta be some kind of game where you hunt dinosaurs. Turok. Shouts the eager N64 fanboy from my window. But that game isn't what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the original Carnivore for the PC. This title is rather bare bones, but it offers a new experience that not many other hunting games can offer. I may have hunted lions, tigers, bears, but oh my, I've not gotten to hunt dinosaurs yet. They say man is the deadliest game, but whoever said that didn't have to hunt a fucking T-Rex. Get real. Well, at its core, Carnivores is just kind of a normal hunting game where the prey happens to be dinosaurs. But what separates this game from other hunting games is the fact that the AI actively hunts you, the player, making the game loop focused more so on staying alive than actually hunting. 20 years later, this franchise would get a lackluster remake, but it's still very much alive and supported by a great modding community. The obvious choice here would be the game Evolve, but that game doesn't really exist anymore, and the hour that I played it didn't really impress me, so I'm gonna move on to a game that I actually like talking about, Tokyo Jungle. If you've been with us here since 2014, and I think there might be 40 people that can claim that, you might have seen us review the PS3 Best of PSN disc. This disc is about 50% good and 50% dead. Sure, Fat Princess and When Vikings Attack were PS3 darlings, but they're also multiplayer focused and were practically dead back in 2014. Sound Shapes is the third game on the disc and is an excellent experimental platform where you touch an obstacle and it adds a rhythm or a note to the background music. It's a good game, but for another time. I originally bought this game solely for Tokyo Jungle. This is one of the most engrossing games on the PS3. The main goal is to grow a species, mate, and then grow again as your offspring. It's essentially Darwinism the game, or if the developers really like Pokemon but were like, what if we could make it more realistic? Much like in the real world, Tokyo Jungle's core game loop is to find food and survive. While there is the less violent option of choosing to be an herbivore, you run the real risk of not being able to defend yourself. And this is the best way to get the feeling of being hunted, and I love it. Even if you pick a predator, you're still being hunted by other predators. Just because my Pomeranian can tear the heads off chickens doesn't mean I can't take down a bigger beast. I love this game and can't recommend it enough. It's a blast, and I think you'll love it. Why play hunting games at all, though? What makes them different? The core game loop is never really about the kill. It's never about pulling the trigger. It's the excitement of the hunt. The moment of finding a target is the highest point of excitement in the entire play session. It's the same excitement one gets when they play hide and seek, just with killing added into the mix. If you want to shoot things, there are plenty of games that let you mow down enemies with bullets, but so few of those first-person shooters let the adventure play out. Because at the end of the day, it's more fun to have 2 virtual deer heads mounted on the wall than having thousands. Those 2 heads have stories connected to them. They mark a true achievement, and not that you just sprayed bullets out into the woods. Hey, wow. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Here, let me pop an achievement for you. Wow, cool. There's an achievement. Your reward, you can subscribe to the channel for free and hit the like button for free and comment down below and we'll talk to you for free. It's all free because you won this achievement. Congratulations. I hope the rest of your day is just as excellent as the moment that you got this achievement.